Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. It is now time for the Farmville Spotlight, the last Thursday of the month. I know everybody's been long anticipating this one, and today we have a very special guest. We have Haden VonCanon from the Back Sydney Band, and also joining us today, Doc. I just call him Doc. I know his real name, but I like Doc. It's a classic, just kind of nickname. Perfect, exactly. Once again, though, the Farmville Spotlight is brought to you by North Street Press Club, your great destination for good, excellent quality food and drinks as well, and especially those drinks. I'm not saying I have a drinking problem, but no, I'm kidding. Sorry. All right, and so Hayden, funny that you're on here. You were on here before, as well as Doc, but the way you got on here this time, WFLO in North Street Press Club, we throw the Farmville 15 Open Mic, and, it's kind of a quarterly competition. Each week we pick contestants, and you made it to the competition round, and you knocked the competition out of the park. With your guitar playing and your harmonica. Sorry, if this is too much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But wow. We can bring it down to. You're like, I didn't even know I did all that.
I play harmonica. Yeah.
No, but so Hayden, I'm glad you can make it, and you did really kill the competition. You did really great.
Thank you.
Out there. How do you feel about winning the Farmville 15 Open Mic?
It's cool. It's cool to be good at something.
Were you expecting to win that night?
No, I wasn't.
You weren't?
No.
Yeah. So humble, this guy. No,
there really are some good musicians in Farmville.
It was a very competitive night. And it was really interesting, just to say real fast, watching those people came out regularly. You could tell that night meant a lot to everybody. Everybody really performed so amazingly, and it was just a very special night. A lot of anxiety in the air, and it was just a fun little competition round. So very, very happy with how all of that went. But Hayden, I want to get into how your background in the music and scene, and so take me back to the very beginning. When did you start getting interested into music?
I started playing violin classically in third grade, which was, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 13, 14 years ago. It was an option at my school, and I went for it. Yeah, that's how I got started.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, was there ever a particular person and or moment that really influenced you in wanting to play the violin? There's so many different instruments, I'm sure, to choose from.
Yeah, there were three options. There was the violin, there was the viola, and there was the cello. And they're all great instruments, but cellos are hard to carry around. Yeah. And who knows what a viola is, so I went with the violin.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will say the viola and the violin kind of look similar.
They do, yeah.
I couldn't tell them apart in a lineup if you put two in front of me. But very, very interesting. Let me ask you this. So, would you call yourself did you come up or were you raised in a musical environment? Would you say?
Not really. My dad used to play bass maybe when he was in high school. Yeah. And he kind of stopped playing bass, and that was about it. We listened to a lot of music, but I play music, and my sister, Violet, she plays music. She plays violin. She plays it pretty well, and also plays guitar.
When did she pick up violin? Was it around
similar
she
started
age?
Playing when she was in her fifth grade. Yeah, so that was when she started playing.
Okay. Very nice. Well, let me ask you, you did grow up in Virginia, correct?
I did, yep.
So how do you think growing up in Virginia shaped your musical ear, if you will?
Sure. I mean, like I said, I was trained classically on violin, and I very quickly wasn't that good at it. I'm pretty bad at reading music, and it was maybe sometime in early high school I started experimenting with bluegrass groups, which there are plenty of them in Virginia, and just finding some good people to play with. And that's where I started picking up kind of my own sound for more of a fiddle sound than violin sound. And obviously that translates over to guitar as well. There's a certain way of playing guitar, a certain way of singing, and that sort of music.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, have you played in any bluegrass? I mean, Back Sydney Band, Is it fair to say it's borderline bluegrass?
They're more like southern rock or
okay.
just blues
We're on
sometimes.
the
I'm
other
sorry,
side of the border of bluegrass.
I am so sorry if that's offensive to you, Doc, and the Back City Band.
With the Led Zeppelin side of bluegrass.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The more rock and roll. I get that.
No, I did. I used to. I played with a group. It was a dobro player and a guitarist, and our gigs were playing at churches, small gospel music at churches, and it was pretty bluegrassy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's how did you enjoy that experience playing with the bluegrass? Did you enjoy it at all?
I did. The thing that's weird about bluegrass is it is a little bit of a closed community. There's a lot of songs. It's like learning a language, knowing the songs that they have. They'll be like, okay, we're gonna play this song, and I'll be like, I don't know that song, but okay. Then they just say figure it out, and you kind of figure it out.
There's a lot of improving when it comes to bluegrass.
Yeah, it's kind of like jazz. It's a lot of improv. It has a structure to it.
Rhythm almost.
They're never played the same.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that is very interesting. So it's very different than what you're doing now with Back Sydney Band, right? You could say that then.
To an extent, there's structure with Back Sydney, but then there's also you're improving a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't remember solos. I play songs different every time.
Is there any similarities between bluegrass and more of that southern country rock and roll that kind of speak to you, or that you notice?
Do you have any opinions on this? That's a hard question.
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
No. Actually, I not bluegrass per se. I just noticed that when Hayden plays, he's doing his own thing and he fits to whatever we're playing. There's a song. It's got a bass, and then he'll play something different to it every time.
Wow.
So actually, you made a comment earlier that you weren't very good at reading music. I wish we'd known that before we signed you up. Practices are. Oh wait, sorry. No. So yeah, what he's doing is just amazing, and I think it would fit. Honestly, I suspect if we played a Led Zeppelin song and wanted to solo with it, it'd work out just fine.
So it flows. You flow very well with different musical styles. It's fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of country. I play a lot of bluegrass. I like all sorts of music.
Yeah.
I'll be listening to pop music in the car. I'll be jamming to Pink Pony Club occasionally.
Sure.
But
there you go.
he likes that song. But yeah, I listen to all sorts of music. So being able to listen to music is a good way to be able to play it well.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: being a musician, obviously, how do you define a good day with your instrument and like a bad day? That's kind of a open-ended question, but like, what would you consider like I feel like I did a lot today with like my work, and then like the other day, like, hey, not so much.
I'm one of those sort of people that if I do something, whether it's playing music or just practicing any sort of skill, I want to be better than the last time I did it.
Yeah.
If I'm not better than the last time I played, I feel like that wasn't successful.
Yeah.
Even if I'm just like the same, I'm still not that happy with that. I want to get better.
Yeah. Well, what does a day in the life look like for you? Like working with your instrument, maneuvering around your instrument, getting really just better, and kind of shaving off the ice a little bit, and really honing in on the instrument.
To be honest with you, I need to practice my fiddle more.
True.
I don't practice it enough.
It's okay. Well, you played guitar at the open mic, and
that's
you
right,
had a guitar and
I play a lot of guitar.
harmonica setup, and that was really good. Like I could tell, like you felt comfortable with the instrument. It wasn't like tight or tense, and it really sounded great. So I mean, how do you practice? Let's say with the guitar, for instance, even.
Well, I'm glad I didn't look like that because I certainly was.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's a song I want to learn, I'm not a crazy guitarist. I play a lot of just chords. I like to try to do more picking styles, and I get too distracted. I'm too ADHD to focus on it for too long. So I really I play chords and try to sing it to songs I want to know. And you really know a song well when you don't have to look at your phone to sing it. That's the best way you can play a song. Is if you're not reading it, you know it by heart, and you're going to sing it or play it well.
From start to learning a new song, let's say you look it up on YouTube, find a tutorial, and honing that song so well that you no longer have to look at the music sheet. How long is that process usually for you?
Depends on how good the song is.
Sure.
If it's a good song, I'm probably going to remember it pretty well. If there's a lot of chord changes, I might forget it. But again, if it's a really good song, I'm going to try really hard to remember that song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. And sorry if I'm bouncing around. I
No,
like
it's
to ask
okay.
a lot of different questions, kind of out of left field and sometimes right field. So, but you obviously play with Back Sydney Band. That's you're a part of that musical group. And we did have the Back Sydney Band on here, Doc. You remember, of course. It was a great episode, one of my favorites, actually. And so we did cover a lot of ground when it comes to being in a band in that setting. But let me ask you, Hayden, when you're on stage, whether it's with Back Sydney Band or you just being solo on stage, where does your mind go?
It's entirely different. Guitar, when I'm singing, I don't do that too often. Back Sydney, I'm pretty comfortable. I know the guys I'm playing with. We've played a lot. We spent a lot of time with each other. Yeah. We're able to just communicate without speaking to each other on stage. So I feel very comfortable. When it's just me and a guitar, that's all everyone can hear is just me and a guitar. So it's a lot more nerve-wracking, and I might be a little more nervous and haven't done it enough.
Sure. Do you have any memorable experiences from performing and maybe something happened?
Yeah, I mean during the
Solo,
during the last show, the open mic, that last song I played, I think I did Jimi Hendrix's "Hey Joe," and I soloed on the harmonica. Yeah. I might have gotten a little too into it, and the harmonica started slipping off of the holder, so that you could only blow one hole of the harmonica.
Oh man!
So I did like a one note solo near the end of that song, hoping that it just was not gonna fall and hit the floor.
Yeah, that could have changed the out. I would be interviewing somebody else probably right now.
Maybe, yeah. That was pretty scary.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. Wow. No, that is. I'm sure that's a lot of pressure too, right? Where you, I'm sure you were sweating and.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at people I knew in the audience, and I was just raising my eyebrows and looking at them.
I think I took some very memorable photos of your eyebrows unusually raised.
Yeah, look for the harmonica. It's probably at an angle, about to fall off.
Wow. Wow, that is incredible. Well, let me ask you this, Hayden.
Sure.
Performing in Farmville, do you find it more intimate, like performing in Farmville in like smaller venues than, let's say, in like a Richmond setting and or like even out of state if you've done that?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll make one exception to that. So yeah, playing in Farmville, some of the people that are around. It's very personal. There was only one time I've played out of state. It was in Wisconsin, and it was for my wedding.
Wow.
It was the night before
By the
my
way,
wedding.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So that was pretty intimate. I'll say that beats that and for I guess that question.
Yeah.
But definitely, Farmville, I love playing here.
Sure.
Solo wise, I've only played at like Press Club and Sandy River. I'm playing in Richmond just for a graduation party. So,
Nice. Well, that's very cool.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, just you solo?
Just me solo, yeah.
And you're going to be playing the guitar? Or?
I will be. And if I can find my harmonicas, the harmonicas.
Yeah, make sure it doesn't fall off the.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Though not as big stakes for that one.
Yeah. Where does Well, okay. Well, we kind of covered that ground. And do you prefer a more intimate setting, smaller venue, or like more, where people might recognize you? Is that more preferred, or do you like the idea of performing to like a totally different crowd in a totally different city? Where do you fall on that?
I mean, some of the best shows we've done were in smaller communities, but they had large crowds. And that's a very good feeling to play with that. It gives you a lot of confidence, and confident players generally play pretty well. Yeah. So, I'd say smaller communities with larger crowds are some of the best shows to play.
Okay. Yeah. And well, you mentioned confidence on stage, as most people know, that is a very important part of being a performer. I would imagine, it is just clearly. So, like, how do you develop that? That skill.
It's just getting used to it. I mean, I'm still nervous before shows. It's why we have green rooms.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. You're supposed to be nervous. The rule is you got to be nervous before your show. And the second you get on that stage, you should be locked in.
Yeah.
You're going. You're ready to roll. I don't always follow that rule though. I'm definitely still nervous on stage sometimes.
Yeah, how do you ride that wave of nervous energy while you're on stage performing?
You just ride it, man.
All right, roll with it. Rock and roll. Okay. Very okay.
You
Well,
sound
yeah.
like a '70s rock star. When
Yeah.
you say that.
Hey,
Can you say
man.
that again?
Yeah.
You just ride it, man.
We're gonna cut that and make that a sound effect for the morning show.
Oh no.
Perfect.
No.
No. Well, that I mean I'm sure that's the only way. It's kind of fight or flight, and you just got to roll with that emotion. So I mean, kudos to you for being able to do that, because that is a very tough thing to do. Let me ask you this, Hayden, and I hope this isn't too like grandiose of a question, but like, and it could be very simple, your answer, and I totally appreciate that. But do you hope the audience, like, let's say you perform solo, a small crowd, what do you hope the audience goes home with? Like, what do you want to give them?
I really like good lyrics, and I don't know I think a lot of people don't notice lyrics in songs sometimes. Some people are more music people, some people are more lyric people.
Yeah.
So I try to pick songs that have pretty good lyrics, and I hope that just people can remember those lyrics and just contemplate them a little bit. I hope you have to have a good, I guess, mix of songs. You have to have popular songs to keep people interested. And you have to throw a few songs there that people may not know, and hope that you can introduce people
to new music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me ask you this. I believe I asked you this before, but do you do any songwriting on your own? Have you?
I try, but I'm pretty bad at it.
So, but you do have a few, then?
Yeah.
You really? That's great. Well, have you ever performed them in public? Let me ask you that.
I think once or twice, not too many times. Yeah.
How come?
I don't like them that much. I guess maybe that's kind of going back to every time I do something, I want to get better at it.
Sure.
Once the song's written.
Yeah.
Now I just got to write a new song.
Yeah.
But
do you feel like it might be like the crowd's reception to your music, like how they pick it up, and maybe it's not a recognizable tune. So
yeah, I mean maybe that too.
Is it a part of it?
That could be a part of it. Yeah. And I'm not like an amazing songwriter either. I have the blessing of having the audience's time and attention. At least I think that I do. Yeah. And I want to play them good music. And I have fun writing music, and I don't know if my music is good or not, but I want to give the audience good music.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to touch on the subject of collaborating with other artists. And obviously, I'll mention this again, Back Sydney band member right here, but also doing some solo stuff as well. Do you collaborate outside of the Back Sydney band with other musicians in the area? And how does that go? And what is that like for you?
It's really fun. I love playing with other musicians. I used to play with, why am I blanking on the name? I've played with Cody Christian before. That was a really cool show. Caleb Dillard, he was Oliver Anthony's bassist, but also an amazing songwriter, an amazing performer, and we have a lot of fun playing together. Yeah. We'll jam out, and we do some pretty cool stuff, and playing with friends too. That's a big one. I love playing with my friends. No stakes at all. We just sit around a fire and play some music.
I heard some stories. I think I was talking to, I'll name drop, Nathan Hager.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about some times that I think you guys played together a couple of times, maybe a couple short jam sessions.
We'll play a little bit,
Yeah, a couple of jam sessions. So, yeah, that's always, I'm sure that always helps you kind of grow as well in your music. So
and it's about having fun, too. You're playing music.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me ask you this. How has music, I don't want to say changed your life, but like playing music, what do you get out of it, Hayden, in like writing your own songs? Like, what are some of the things that you might take away from it?
Whew. Yeah, that's a pretty big question.
We can break it down a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of aspects to it. One, it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
I'm sure most people think it is. I'm sure you play drums, and drums is an easy one to get some anger out.
Yeah. I gotta say, Doc looks really relaxed right now. You look at his face.
Right. I haven't beaten my animals in years.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
But I mean, you can be sad, happy. And playing music is a good way to express your emotions or just, I don't know, reflect on things.
For you specifically, though,
Mm-hmm.
Hayden, how is if you could point one thing out and being like music directly had this effect on me, what would that one thing be?
I hate to go back to it, but I guess emotional. Like,
Yeah,
you hear
sure.
a good song,
Yeah.
that raises some emotions. Like, I spend a lot of time choosing the music I listen to. I want to listen to good songs, and to me, good songs really invoke emotion.
And thoughts. And,
Yeah,
and
thoughts.
just
That's a good one. Yeah.
go from there. Yeah, you can go down a whole rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Well, being a musician as well, Hayden, I'm sure you experienced some hurdles, whether it's performing solo or in a collaboration setting. What are some of the challenges you kind of experienced in your music journey?
Practicing.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at practicing.
Yeah. Good at performing, though.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
I'd say practicing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd like to learn different instruments as well. And it's like I'm learning steel pedal right now.
Yeah.
And I'm so focused on that I forget to practice my other instruments. I don't practice fiddle enough. I don't practice guitar enough. I'm only focusing on steel pedal. So I guess maybe displacement on where I'm practicing.
Yeah. Is there an instrument? Obviously, it sounds like you might go to another instrument, work with that, and kind of forget the other ones. But is there
Right.
like the one that you keep going back to? Do you always have one that you kind of always return to, and like that's your? What would be the main instrument you play?
I think most people would say fiddle.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some people know me as just the fiddle guy.
What would you say though, in your words? Like, would you also agree with that, or would you
I mean, in
lay it
terms
out,
of
lay
like
it all out on the line?
looking at like fiddle players
Yeah.
across the board, I'm not all that. I can play fiddle. I play the songs that I know. Yeah, but I'm not that great of a guitar player either. Yeah, I guess fiddle. I'd say fiddle.
Yeah. With the fiddle, do you feel connected in a certain way? Obviously, you started off playing violin. Is that right? So, is it just do you like the feel of the instrument?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of emotion in that instrument. You have a lot of control over it, which can make it very difficult as well. For guitarists out there, there's no frets on it. You have to know what notes you're hitting. It can be very difficult for keys, but when you start to figure it out, you do feel pretty connected to the instrument, especially during a very late night show, and you can't even see your instrument.
Yeah, I'm sure. You just got to feel around.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of like how I feel around for the light switch at night when I
Exactly.
get up and get a drink of water or something. But let me ask you this, Hayden. What are you chasing in your musical journey? Do you have like a goal that you're trying to get to, in a sense? Like, is there something that you want to reach? I'm so sorry if these.
No,
yeah,
I'm not. I'm
kinda-
not trying to make a career out of
Sure.
music. I
Sure.
really just have a fun time. I
Exactly.
want to play with people.
Yeah.
That's my goal, to have a good time and constantly get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great goal. Well, that's very good. We do have to take a quick commercial break right now. It is 4:29, so we're going to go ahead and take a break. And I believe when we come back, you guys have some music prepared
Yeah, we
for
got
us.
two
So
songs. We got two songs.
I'm excited to hear them, so we'll get you guys going with that. So we're going to take this quick commercial break. Once again, the Farmville Spotlight is brought to you by North Street Press Club, your destination for great food and drinks. And we'll go ahead and play that spot right now.
Craving great food and drinks in downtown Farmville? North Street Press Club is the place to be. Enjoy global grub and local vibes, whether you're dining in or relaxing on our patio. Good times are always on tap. Call us at 434-392-9444 for easy pickup or to discuss your catering needs. Let's make your next event delicious.
So good.
Visit North Street Press Club today, where food, drinks, and fun meet.
And we are back to the Farmville Spotlight. I have Hayden with me and Doc, and they're going to be performing some music. Doc is on the cajon, and Hayden's got a guitar, and he'll be singing 2 songs, so hope you enjoy. Hayden, take it away.
Let this be a lesson to you, girl. Don't come around here where you don't belong. They're running through the avenue, they're probably coming after you, and they all look mean and strong. Mean and strong like liquor, mean and strong like fear, strong like the people from South Alabama, and mean like the people from here. Take it from me, we ain't never gonna change. Daddy used to empty out his shotgun shells and fill them full of black-eyed peas. He'll aim real low, tear out your ankle or rip right through your knees. Now there ain't much traffic on the highway, there ain't much traffic in the lake. They got the ATF and the ABI, take everything they could take. Take it from me, they didn't take it from me. We ain't never gonna change, we ain't doing nothing wrong. We ain't never gonna change, so shut your mouth and play along. Well, I thought about going in the army, I thought about going overseas. I wouldn't have trouble with a piss test, no, the problem is my bad left knee. My brother got picked up in Parkers, they got him a ride in a new Crown Vic. They said they were moving to the federal level, but they never could make it stick. Take it from me, we ain't never gonna change, we ain't doing nothing wrong. We ain't never gonna change, so shut your mouth and play along. We ain't never gonna change, we ain't doing nothing wrong. We ain't never gonna change, so shut your mouth and play along. Alright, I'm gonna do one more song. My drummer thinks he doesn't know it, but he's definitely heard it before, so we'll see if you can figure it out. You got it. Well, I started on the whiskey pretty early this morning. That's alright. I was up all night, but I passed out before the sun came up. I really wanted to see one of those. I know that's no way for a man to behave, with a mortgage due and a baby on the way. But somehow I made it to where I'm at. Been a living as a matter of fact. I get a bad attitude for being tired and running out. I've never asked for anyone to say they like my sound. I've never been a part of any musical scenes, and I ain't just talking Nashville, if you know what I mean. They don't write about me in their magazines. I don't ask for no reviews on the songs that I sing. I've never had a lot of friends, and I'm alright by that, 'cause people keep on coming back, raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. They don't care about no trends, they don't care about songs that sell. Oh yeah, tomorrow I'll be gone, so tonight everybody just sing along, raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. I've been standing on the outside for all of my life, and I like the view. I ain't gonna lie, yeah, the yuppies and the hipsters and the wannabe saints, that ain't down home to me. I like $3 beers, I like $2 wells, some old honky-tonk bar that I know by the smell, drunk on a bar stool on a Merle Haggard tune. Yeah, that's my kind of groove, raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. They don't care about no trends, they don't care about songs that sell. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be gone, so tonight everybody just sing along, raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. Yeah, we'll be raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. That's all I got.
Incredible. Can we get a round of applause? Yeah, I mean, sorry, it's just us in here. But, like, yeah, wow, Hayden, you killed it, man. That was amazing.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Doc, if you want to take a seat again, feel free. Yeah, relax after that, guys. That was incredible. Doc, always on the cajones, knocking it out of the park.
Oh, he rocks it. He thought you didn't know that song. He killed it.
Yeah, nailed it. You guys did great.
Great song.
I haven't heard those songs before. I apologize for that, but it definitely fit your style of music, and I definitely see what you mean by like you wanting to play songs that really have kind of like thought-provoking lyrics and that are maybe different than what people are used to hearing. Taylor Swift, etc. Who needs it? No, I'm kidding. Taylor Swift's great, but no, that was great. How did it feel performing in the studio, if you don't mind me asking?
It got a little bit hotter.
Yeah,
than it was earlier.
A little bit.
So
That's
how it felt.
Just the hair. Just
the hair.
Yeah. Wow. Well, guys, I do want to open up the phone lines. If anybody out there has a question for Hayden and or Doc, and I don't see why you wouldn't, call in. 434-394-0924 is the phone number. If you do have a question for Haden VonCanon, and, throw a Doc in the mix. He's here, and he's playing the cajon. So, feel free to call in at that number if you do have a question. Yeah, Hayden, that was great. Let me ask you, how long did it take for you to prepare those two songs?
Shoot. So I saw Doc here, Dr. Holt. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
And I asked him if he wanted to play at this, and he was like, "Sure, what songs?" And I said, "I don't know." So
okay, all right.
we went into his living room,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Let's do this one," and he liked it. So we did that first one, and then I was like, "Okay, let's also do Folsom Prison Blues." And he says, "Sure." And then on the way here, I said, "Let's not do Folsom Prison Blues. Let's do a different song." And he's
Okay.
like, "Do I know it?" It's like, "You played it before."
Interesting.
And I tried singing it to him, and he said he didn't know it still.
Yeah.
But you did fine. He knew it. He knew it. Yeah.
It's an easy song to pick up.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's what I told
Plus, I'm
him.
just beating on a box, so how hard could that be?
That is a good point. No, I'm kidding. That's incredibly hard. I've tried playing these cajones before. I don't, it's a whole I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. But yeah, that was really, really great, guys. And thank you for performing those as well. That was,
Thank you for having us.
Oh, of course. Well, thanks for
much
coming
fun.
in. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. Well, I did want to ask Hayden. So you said you're going to be playing at a graduation party coming up soon. Do you have any other shows? Maybe it's Back City Band, and or you maybe just playing solo. A couple of gigs. Do you have anything that you want to bring up? Maybe.
Do we, Dr. Holt? I can't. Our band is kind of spread out during the college break.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're taking kind of a summer vacation. I suspect in
Sure.
August we'll have something.
Yeah.
We usually play, the last 2 years we played Center of the Universe Brewery, but that's September-ish, I guess.
I think so. I think it's a fundraiser too.
Yeah.
It's a really cool event. But you can follow Back Sydney on
Sure.
Instagram. Back Sydney Band, I think, is the Instagram page, and we post when we're playing publicly.
Great.
So.
Great. What about if somebody wants to see you play solely?
Oh, then someone send me a message. We
Okay.
can jam sometime.
Sure. Sure. Great.
You don't have any Sandy River gigs coming up?
I don't think so. I'd love to play at Sandy River. But
Yeah. How is that like? Playing at Sandy River. It's another kind of small,
it's a different,
intimate.
yeah, it's a really different crowd than what back Sydney band might be used to. We play a lot of like fraternities and parties and stuff, but Sandy River, it's a really nice. Well, firstly, it's a beautiful venue. They spend a lot of time on just the venue there, but it's a really cool crowd. It's a little quieter. Sometimes we're background music, but there's definitely people that also like to listen to us, and I love playing there. It's a very relaxing place to play.
Sure, yeah. Oh, Hayden, I do have a few more questions that I did want to ask you before you go, and I hope I'm not throwing any curveballs at you, but I did want to ask you about the role of vulnerability in music, and where do you see that being, in your playing abilities and your maybe even when you're performing solo, where do you fit vulnerability in the performance at, and do you see it as important?
Do me a favor, define what you mean by vulnerability, especially in this context.
Sure. Okay. It being more raw versus being more, like rehearsed. It's like the Beatles, let's say the Beatles like early 60s versus the Beatles whenever, in the late 60s, like kind of more weird. And, well, that's not a great example, but I think you know what I mean by just being more, I guess, like raw in your vocals, raw in the way you perform it.
Sure. I mean, I think it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, knowing your songs.
Sure. Yeah.
If you don't know your song, like you kind of know it, you got to read the lyrics, you might be a little less comfortable, and you might try to sound maybe a little bit more controlled or more like the original recording. And at the end of the day, like, why would someone come to listen to you play a song the exact same way it's recorded? If they can play it on their phone, why would they come to listen to you? So being able to be comfortable with your song or with your music means that you can maybe give it a little more flexibility and give it that raw sound you're talking about. Yeah. Does that sort of answer your question?
That does.
Okay.
That does, yeah.
Can I add a little bit to that?
Sure,
And
absolutely.
watching these youngsters do all this sort of stuff, I'm back in the band. There's nothing vulnerable about me on my drums. When they throw things, I'm going to hit them first. Yeah. But it's as much the audience as anything else, right? And you can't. If you don't have a connection with the audience, they don't know the difference between a rehearsed song and a raw sort of I'm just winging this thing. They're not listening. If you have that connection, all of a sudden you do feel the confidence buoyed up by their support. You can actually, and I've seen these guys do it. They're feeling the audience, and all of a sudden they'll go out on a limb. Oh, never heard that before. That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that has to do with
the audience, the relationship to the audience
you have
and
audience,
connection.
whether small or large, right? I mean, we've played. Press is one of my favorite venues for just like energy.
Yeah.
I mean, when folks come, they're right there and on top of us, front of the stage, and then they're getting into it. They're getting into it. We're getting into it. Yeah, it makes a big difference.
It does. I'm sure it does. Yeah. Well, and a couple more questions. As far as being disciplined in your music, in rehearsing, do you find being are you a disciplined performer / musician? Do you show up to rehearsal on time? No.
I rarely miss rehearsal. I'll say that. I'm always at rehearsal.
Okay. That's
He's
good
missed
to
a
hear.
gig or two, but
I've only missed 2 gigs.
Yeah.
Actually,
and they were in the same. They were in the same week.
And what was the kind of notice you gave your band members?
Well ahead. One of the gigs
that's
was
nice.
Actually one of the gigs was because we won the Battle of the Bands.
Okay, yeah.
And because we won it, I had a trip planned well before that, and because we won, we had to play during this trip, and I was unfortunately unable to play. But
that's not good.
No, it wasn't. It was sad, but it was cool though. The trip was cool.
Got you. What is the most? I'll put it that way. The most memorable performance you've had solo without back Sydney band. Just your.
Oh well, I haven't played that much.
Sure.
I played maybe 2 or 3 solo shows.
Okay.
So
if you had
probably
to pick
this one.
Yeah. You're considering this one the most.
I mean, this is the only show where I've been interviewed.
Sure. Yeah.
Between my performance.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that
before and
I'd
then
say this
after.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's true. If you didn't have to, if it wasn't this one, what other one would it be, and why?
Man, I think I've played at Sandy River twice,
Yeah.
and I guess Press Club
Yeah.
for the open mics.
Sure.
I'd say Sandy River mostly
Mm-hmm.
because that was the first time I played like an hour of music
Yeah.
just up there. Like
Yeah.
I just was entertaining people for an hour. That's crazy.
How different did that feel versus you being in a band with other members, and it's kind of you're like a family up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's different because when you're with a band, I'm one of the instruments that if I'm not essential to the song, I could not play and no one would notice. If you stop playing when you're in a solo band or solo show, one man show, they notice.
Yeah.
'Cause you stop.
Yes, exactly.
That's the entertainment gone. So that'd be a big difference.
So would you say there's like a certain stamina that comes with being a solo performer versus performing in a band?
Absolutely, yeah. They're different. Both are different beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like one versus the other?
I love them both. They're awesome.
If you had to pick one, and that was going to be it. I'm sorry, that's kind of.
Oh,
I'm
no,
just
no,
I'm curious.
always. No, yeah, play with people. Always
yeah,
play with
always,
people.
Yeah.
If you want,
You get to
play
feed
with your
off of each
friends,
other,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well that's great. And I'll open up the phone lines once again. 434-394-0924 is the number to call in if you do have a question for Haden VonCanon and or Doc, who is here as well. Played some cajones earlier. That is the number to call. And Hayden, I don't want to hold you up too much longer, but what's going on in your personal life? How's everything with school and?
Yeah, I'm in Farmville right now. I'm doing summer research through Hampton, Sydney. I am making a short film with another student there.
Congratulations!
It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's really fun. That's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Yeah, are you writing? You filming? Or
I'm directing
what's-
photography.
Okay, directing photography.
Helping with some editing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who wrote the script? Another student?
Yeah, his name is Ashby Bonin.
Can we talk about what it's about, or is that confidential at the moment?
I don't know too. It's not done yet. It's
Sure.
a drama.
Sure.
It's
okay. It's a
family
drama.
drama. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Family drama.
Yeah,
Those are always
yeah.
the best. No, I'm kidding.
Yep.
But all right. Wow. And I'm sure that's time consuming. I actually filmed a little documentary a couple of months back, and you actually came out to see
did, I
it,
saw it,
at the premiere. So that was exciting. But they are time consuming. What's your favorite part in the process of making a movie? Do you like working with the camera? Do you like more of the back end, like post production or post production work, editing?
Yeah, I like working with the camera. And
Yeah.
it's all a satisfying process. Being able to you know too. You're a filmmaker.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
it's cool to see it come together, especially if
Yeah.
you had a vision and it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's nothing worse than having a vision and it's totally not it once you film it, and you're like, this is not at all what I imagined it was going to look like or sound like.
What's great is when you have a vision and
Yeah.
it's better.
Yeah, that's true.
That one's cool.
Yeah, that is a cool moment too. Yeah. All right, so that's very time consuming. What got you interested in shooting and messing around with cameras, if you don't mind me asking?
I've done filmmaking for a while.
Yeah.
Just another hobby that I
Sure.
picked up. Yeah, I don't know. I think I bought a GoPro one day when I was
A
how old
youngster.
I was. Yeah, youngster. Yeah. And I started getting into the settings, and then I realized the GoPro was not enough, and I needed a bigger camera.
Yeah.
And
DSLR.
Yep.
Full body.
Yep.
Yeah, mirrorless. And then that's probably the next step, or maybe not.
yeah,
But
for
okay.
a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, no, those are always fun. Did you shoot any movies when you were younger, messing around with the GoPro and or the DSLR camera? That you want to talk about that or not? Like ultra embarrassing,
we can
ultra.
get our hands on.
Exactly. Yes.
In high school, I did a lot of 48-hour film projects. And
Cool. Yeah.
I enjoyed those. I currently I'm trying to get better. I took a hiatus from it for a while.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
This summer, I am vlogging a lot of my experience making a short film. So
Yeah. And
that's kind of what I'm doing right now, too.
okay. Very. So not only are you like director of photography, you're also filming the process of filming in a way,
Kind of. A little bit of my life, too. Just trying to get better. It's nothing crazy. Just little vlogs that are kind of cinematic.
Sure, yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool. And I know you're here for the music portion and your instrument abilities, but I do kind of want to ask you a little bit more about cameras. So, in your mind, Hayden, what is the cinematic? That's a word thrown all around a whole lot. The cinematic look. to you, what does that mean? Obviously, and I'm not even talking about video quality at that point. Just like what it needs to be in frame to create that sort of. Do you have any rules that you follow, or you just know it when you see it? One of those kind of.
I mean, that's a big question. You can see a TikTok video and go, "That's not cinematic," and then we watch a weird. I don't know what's like new, like Poor Things.
Yeah,
that's a new movie. That one looks very strange, but somehow it is cinematic. Yeah. So you can actually, you can give your thoughts on this too.
I could chip in.
I would say
a
like
little bit, but
if it's an intentional, controlled, scene we're seeing, I would say that's probably cinematic.
Yeah.
Whether it's good is another question.
Depends on execution and teamwork and the actors' abilities. Yeah. So I guess you are working with actors on this short film that you're making.
Yeah, I'm not doing much with the hiring process or the scouting process, but we are going to begin some actors.
Yeah. As director of photography, do you have to, like, obviously you have to reshoot, but do you ever have to give the actors notes?
Usually I don't. That's more of a director thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Sometimes it's important for me to position the actors where they need to be on scene.
Yeah.
Generally, I don't give notes to the actor. I don't want to step on a director's toes. With that. Yeah.
That's always a hostile environment between the director, executive producer, and director of photography. But do you have a favorite film of all time?
That's a really hard question.
That's an insanely hard question.
There's a lot of good films out there.
Doc is blown away by that one. Yeah.
I'm thinking of 20.
Yeah. There's tops. I mean, there's some good ones. Pulp Fiction's really good. That's bad that's the only one that came to mind.
It's good. I mean, hey.
I like Stanley Kubrick. His movies are good.
Yeah.
Really? Clockwork Orange?
Not that one.
2001?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clockwork Orange is great, by the way, too.
The Shining.
The Shining's good. Yeah. Absolutely.
Clockwork Orange is a good book.
I've heard that. I haven't read the book yet.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the language.
Yes,
in
that's
the
right.
Book. It's all about the language.
It is.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie The Deer Hunter?
I've heard of it, but no, I haven't. Should I?
Doc knows.
Okay.
Doc's in the know on this one, yeah. I highly recommend you check it out, but that's probably going to wrap it up for our time. At closing, a few minutes early, I'll give the phone numbers one more time, 434-394-0924. If you do have a question for Haden VonCanon, who did win the Farmville 15, and that was a very great night. Glad you can make it out. Are you going to be performing again at these? I mean, because we throw the open mic, each week.
I'd like to. It's a good way to get practice.
Yeah,
but
stage time, work on the confidence, work on the stage presence. And
it is on Wednesday nights, and sometimes on, the evening of hump day, I get a little tired.
Yeah, of course, as one should,
But I'd like to get out there. It's the matter. Once I get there, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
It's the trouble of getting out there.
Sure. And I don't think I asked this question, which it is unfortunate, but is there any singular person that you could point to that really helped you in your music journey that maybe inspired you a little bit? So, do you like how I go from asking you about movies to back to the music?
It's awesome. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's a little chaotic.
No, I like it. I like it. I guess maybe my first music teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. She helped, I guess.
Do you remember her name?
Her name's Lily Banco.
Wow.
She's in Richmond. I think she's still teaching music to my knowledge.
Wow. Yeah. And that's great. That is great. Well, guys, Hayden, Doc, nice having you guys back, and I appreciate you guys stopping in for the Farmville Spotlight.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate it. You guys have been great guests, excellent, the best, stellar performance, by the way, too. I love those two songs. And I think that's going to conclude our episode for today. So we're going to wrap things up. Thank you once again. And did you want to plug anything before we close out the show?
Back Sydney Band on Instagram.
Yeah.
That'd be it.
What about the vlog as well?
Just look my name up on YouTube, Haden VonCanon.
Sure, and it's spelled a little bit differently too.
Yeah, that's a good.
They might
point
find
out.
somebody else who's totally not you at all. But
that's Haden.
yes, a little different, but still interesting nonetheless. All right, well, Hayden, Doc, thank you guys once again, and this has been the Farmville Spotlight, brought to you by North Street Press Club, your destination for great food and drinks. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll be talking at you later next, I guess, not next Thursday, but the last Thursday of next month. See you then, and have a great evening. Good night.